Welcome back to the most professional StarCraft 2. The only way to describe pretty much every game played by this player in the bottom right in the blue. Let me introduce to you the final boss, the Zerg. It's Dark. And he's got a challenger. On the other side, looking to prove that the Global StarCraft League truly lives up to its name. From Mexico, it is Juanito. Special. Looking to prove today that he's one of the best instead of just considered one of the rest. He's qualified for GSL several times before, but he's struggled to get past players, especially like Dark, who is well known for being a stopping and chopping block for, well, most players, but especially foreigners into the GSL. Cheesing them and just knocking them out with no mercy. So if you want to see Dark add another to the count, or if you want to see Special claw his way into the later rounds, either way, Jimmy, what are we at? 1,000, we get 1,076 likes on this video. Yes, we upped it. We're upping the ante. One more. It adds up slowly, but 1,076 likes on this video. I'll cast another series, maybe from GSL. I'm taking recommendations, of course. I also saw some Gumiho games. I had to choose. Well, there's time. But 1,076 likes. I'll cast another series. I'll probably do it anyways. And subscribe. Be one of the first 200,000. Get in on the ground floor. Thank you for tuning in. I hope this series, my commentary in these games, make your day a little bit better. And I hope you enjoy. Let's see. Dark has been hiding these Zerglings. I wanted to comment on it, but they haven't moved, so I didn't really feel too obligated to like, why now, though? They've been here. He actually built the Zerglings before oh my god. Is he hunting the Reaper with the hidden lings? But he doesn't find it. He goes through this way. He just comes home. Did he forget about the Zerglings? Did he decide those Zerglings had a rebellious teenager phase, and then once they got their wings, they decided they saw the world with a new perspective and finally realized that they belonged on the creep and came home? It's impossible to tell. I don't speak Zerg. So, that means nothing. I mean, literally nothing. Nothing has been lost. So far, just jockeying for position on Grezvin, well known as one of the most macro-intensive maps, just constantly 3, 4, 5, and more base games. And Dark is no stranger to those late games. If his units aren't working, he just borrows yours. Neural Parasite, a signature, with Abduct helping things along. Brenda, we're walking. We're walking. Karen, stop. I don't. Queen's move to defend the third finishes up. He actually took, I think maybe the Reaper was blocking, or I don't know, Dark taking the linear third instead of the triangle third here. That's about the extent of the drama so far. Special is doing a 3 base in 2 barracks with a Banshee providing some high ground vision to help take out the Overlord. Will do so. Pushes that OV away from its pervert pillar there. Likes to watch, but unfortunately it can't float any higher, so the Banshee's still able to get a beat on it. The safety Banshee. I like this from Special because to read into it far too much and to make a mountain out of this particular molehill, the safety Banshee indicates to me he's comfortable and confident in macro. All right? Building 1 Banshee without cloak, not like Cure's crazy, like, I'm going cloak because it's so dumb that it becomes not dumb, that even full of Dark recently. No. Go watch that series, though. But instead, just a Banshee, essentially the equivalent of making an Oracle in Protoss versus Zerg, where you just kind of have an air unit they can't deal with without bringing the queens across. Not that Dark would necessarily shy away from that, but you're not going to do that for 1 Banshee, So far, a pacifist run. Well, besides the 4 Zerglings that died off camera. But otherwise, pretty much a pacifist run. At least from Dark. Who recently has been on quite a Zergling kick. And grab your emotional support, Zerglings. You'll probably need them, because it looks like he's still in a Zergling mood. As he kind of shifts back and forth. For a while, it was the Roach Ravager. In fact, he's the player who kind of carved roaches back into the meta in the last couple. Even Cyril's been using those roach builds. But in the last couple weeks, Dark's decided, no, Lings and Banes. That's what we're doing. And it's continuing here today as +1/+1. He's rushing Burrow. Now, of course, that has a lot of utility. I have to, obligated to mention, you remember that one time that Scarlet did Burrowed Banes against Bomber in, like, almost a decade ago now? But Burrow, relatively cheap with a lot of utility for blocking expansions, just generally scouting, where creep tumors aren't. Could have maybe saved those Zerglings before they got slaughtered by Special's great stutter step as they were distracted by the rocks. Those stupid, sexy rocks. Shut up, Dustin. Okay. What are you... Well, so far, only Dark taking terrible, terrible damage, but a single Marine has gone down. I think that number will double. Maybe even triple. Yes, 3 whole Marines as Special keeping Dark busy, keeping that supply up. It's been an incredibly macro-oriented game, but that just means a bigger build-up for a more dramatic fight. Oh, Dark actually just throwing so much away. He's losing so many Zerglings and Banelings for pretty much free. Baneling speed is on the way, but it's still pretty far off. As Special transforms into Hellbats to buffer for a siege tank. He's already got 1/1 done. Does he have an armor? He does, but he hasn't started 2/2, so at least he's got that. Dark does. The Zerglings look for the wraparound. Banelings are not closing the distance. The Queens are knocking down the Medivacs. As the Zerglings, there's just so many. There are too many of them. We cannot get out. They are coming. Oh my god! Do it! Is he gonna... Close enough. All right, I'll take it. He did it. All right, Burrowed Banes. It worked. I don't even know if Special noticed, because it is customary for a Terran player who gets hit by Burrowed Banes to then scan immediately after getting hit by Burrowed Banes. What does it accomplish? Very occasionally, they didn't trigger all the Banes or there's something else, but mostly it's like a nervous reaction. So the fact that Special didn't scan makes me think he might not have noticed. But if he scans his way out here, then that would definitely be it. But there's a chance that Dark gets away. Okay, yeah, he saw it. Never mind. It was only me. Well, Dark has 89 Zerglings and 13 Banelings. And counting. Yes. Adding more and more. He's got 74 drones. How many hatcheries? 5 + 1. Hive is on the way. Hive is going to be done in like 10 minutes. Widowmine revealed. And Dark turns around. He decides, oh, mainly, he immediately gets Overlord speed, by the way. Immediately upon seeing the Widowmine. I think for overseers, but also you can use Overlords potentially to tank a minefield, which does sound like a very Dark tactic. Well, Special. Carving out some more space. Yes. You can lose a few Marines to Burrowed Banes, but as long as your economy is still intact, and Special right now is already at an Octorax production. He's got 8 barracks. The Zerglings are just streaming through, truly embracing. Feels like they got a mind of their own the way they're working over there. There is that one Widowmine on the back line. Special still being efficient, but the Zerglings are the natural. You can't just let them in. All right, they burrow in. You see, this is what happens. You let them in the door. All right. And now you got Zerglings all over your base. He told you. He told you. An ounce of prevention. Or, I don't know the rest of the saying. Something like that. Like, just like Mama said. If you keep the door open, that's how you get Zerglings in your base, and we ain't paying the fumigation bills. Did somebody call for an exterm... Which is a common saying around Terran households. But the Zerglings are cleared up. Special maintaining a 200 supply. Widowmine hits more Terran than Zerg. But Dark is bleeding Zerglings. He doesn't care. 250 gone. Immediately replaced. He's sitting at 100. 125 links. Plus 3 melee. Where's the Ultra Cavern Dark? Where are you hiding it? Take it out of your pocket. Maybe looking, I don't know, maybe the other, like a back pocket. Somewhere. He's hiding the Ultra Cavern somewhere. I don't know why he hasn't built it yet, but this is clearly an Ultra game. Adrenal Glands on the way. Triple Whittle Mine. None of them connect on anything but Medivacs and a handful of Lings. He's able to clean it up. Ooh, that one might hurt. Also hits Terran. Special supply is still staying incredibly high, as these Whittle Mines now start to connect. In fact, the Overseers are a little too fast for their own good, not able to chase them down. Finally, Special. Whoa, another connection. That's a big one. But the Zergling count still near triple digits, as Dark just holds down the Z key, and he's not sleeping today. All right, a Doom Drop, a bit of desperation, and a dose of stims as he gets into the main. Gunning down a Queen, gets the Spore Crawler. The Queens are taking out these Medivacs rather fast right now. Eating another one, loses 3 out of 5 Medivacs and barely gets out with the rest. Dark, oh my god. Really a Zerg today. So many Zerg. How many? Oh, Liberator in a good spot. 400 Zerglings. In 12 minutes. And we are, well, he hasn't really done anything to pressure Special. Yes, Dark has been cleaning it all up. He's got Zerglings every which way and underneath. But Special's closing on 3-3. He's got 5 bases. He's sitting on 62 SCVs, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that means... Wait, why is he building a second infestate? Did you misclick the Ultra Cavern Dark? 100%. He's gonna cancel it and build an Ultra Cavern. You know, I have not seen this game. Very intentionally, I don't like to spoil myself because I can't do it. I can't pretend like I didn't watch it if I did. But he's gonna get you gotta get Neural Parasite real quick to pretend it was intentional. That was definitely supposed to be an Ultra Cavern. I am of a firm opinion. Somewhat flexible, but still firm. Oh, another round of Zerglings. Wow. Dark, for someone whose only anti-air is Vipers and Queens, has done a bang-up job. Honestly, I'm pretty sure that Special has killed more Medivacs than Dark has. Unfortunately, a couple of those Vipers moving forward. There's the Ultra Cavern. But these are fully upgraded Cracklings with Adrenal Glands, 3-3. The attack speed is ridiculous. You can't let them close the distance. Some of those are changelings. Dark just, the master of misdirection. Special maybe thought he had more units in that fight, but most of them were changelings. Another set of Whittle Mines. I told you, when the game took so long to get started, that meant this was how it's going to end. Now, I don't see it ending anytime soon, but the economies were so high before we started fighting. It was inevitable that every fight would be oh my god. Get up and good to go, right, boys? What is with the voices today? I don't know what the voice... Are you hearing voices again, Billy? Vipers. The Changelings are just walking around. He's got them right-clicked on some of these units. The Banelings, the Changelings actually block for the Marines. Special also fighting a war of... Oh my god. 40 kill Whittle Mine. Okay, you know what? I'm sorry, but... Okay, it got some kills before. It got 24 with the first shot. I really wanted to see if it got 40 kills. I've never seen over 35, actually. That is, except for workers that are stacked up, I've never seen a kill. Like, 35 to 40 seems like the upper limit, unless you're mineral walking workers and all jammed up in there, like whatever I'm doing with my hands. Anyways, Dark's signature here. He's got a lot of signatures, all right? Many aliases, but this particular one is the Burrowed Infestor. Only one, I think, because he didn't have the supply to build more at the time. Special retargets onto the drones, kills 9 of them. But, oh, the Infestor waiting. He's waiting. Alley-oop. He wraps him around with the Zerglings. The Whittle Mine. It's a massacre. Butchery. Carnage. Just so much on the field. Both sides obliterated, annihilated, decimated, and devastated as There's just blood all over the field. I don't know how, 650 Zerglings, 150 Marines, and counting, as they're both still at 180 supply. The economies are still at full tilt right now, and neither of these players seem to be suffering from it otherwise. But Special, where are your medevacs? He's lost 12 medevacs to someone who doesn't really have anti-air. Now, the Widowmines, I think, claimed about half of them. The Ultralists have arrived on the field. Big Daddy is home, and he's angry. All right, he's angry because he's 15% smaller than he was last year. And honestly, he didn't really have a weight problem. It was mass. He was cultivating mass. And just because his hitbox was too large to really maneuver around a lot of those areas doesn't mean it wasn't how he wanted. And now that the Ultras are smaller, is it a buff? Arguably. To your ego? Not, it depends. Well, Special's still maxed out, but I don't see a single ghost on the field. And that's not just because I didn't bring detection, but instead, dealing with this with just classical bio, that's what we'll go with. Vintage bio. Retro, but no, that one doesn't work. Dealing with this with just bio is a bold move. 100 Zerglings, a dozen Banes, and half a dozen Ultras. And very, very importantly, 3 Vipers with full energy. There's an Infestor somewhere, probably in the worst possible position for Special. I was just chilling over here. Never mind. But a Knight is on the way. Special, moving in. He doesn't have any medevac. He keeps going out without medevacs. These are throwaway groups of units. He has not built a Ghost Academy. That is the big key point here. No ghosts means there's a bit of a timer on his army. Oh, he kills the base, picks up, and gets out. But a bit of a trade here. Dark closes the distance and chews through everything. Ultras, let me in! The Ultras find some chew toys to gnaw on. Oh, more Ultras. Dark Ultras left, right, and center. I don't know how many are on the field. The question really is, will it be enough? Some Banelings rolling in. Special dipping in supply. Brings the Marines and Marauders back. For the first time, he loses 40 SCV. So you see, that's where the real damage is being dealt. Oh my god, what happened to this planetary? Special just now realizing. Drops a blinding cloud, but Ultras are melee. Oh my god, wombo combo! That ain't so. He got the blinding cloud fungal. Special hung with him, but it did feel like the entire time was dark. If those Ultras had come out another couple minutes earlier instead of whatever he was doing with that infestation pit. A roller coaster of emotions there at the end. But Special got kind of locked into his Marine Marauder medevac, as so many Terrans do. And Dark wasn't particularly advanced himself. That was like the least spellcasters on Hive Tech I've ever seen Dark build, because he was so addicted to building Zerglings and Ultralists. And, well, that made it more entertaining for me, but I was a bit concerned that the Terran army might be able to start chewing away at it. But at the end of the day, Dark overwhelms Special in game 1. And now, Royal Blood. No, not just Queens, but the map name. What is this double gas? What are we doing double gas here, Special? You know he's Zerg, right? There's plenty of double gas Zerg builds, but... It's a bit of a mess of a cast today. I hope you guys are enjoying. I never know. Sometimes the rails, I go off them and I don't remember how to get back. But hopefully we can stay close enough that it's recognizable. It's something about these two, because Special always has... I'm blaming the players, by the way. We're transitioning to blaming the players, which will segue into a normal description of the build once something kind of interesting happens and not just commentating the production tab. So we skipped forward, and now we're going to go back. These two, Dark always has a twist. Whatever it is, he has this particular... And right now it's Zerglings, apparently. It's the flavor of the week is Zerglings. It's like, what's the unit of the day? Zerglings. Oh, very bold. Haven't heard that one before since 1998. But he just, I don't even know how he's doing it with the, oh my, what the hell? Some hoverboarding drones there. Sometimes happens with the grenade. Always amusing. Somewhat concerning. He just got the upgrade so quick. He just, was the key all along to not care about losing Zerglings? I feel like there's some more details to it. But he just threw hundreds of Zerglings. I don't know what the final count was, 700-800 in less than 20 minutes. It's quite an impressive number. I thought for a second he might just try to end it with Wingbang, but... And now Special, on the other hand, as you can tell here, as well. Oh, no wait, it's not Reapers. It's 2 Reapers and Hellion. Is a battlecruiser build? I mean, battlecruiser builds have never been bad, and TY is back. Doesn't know, TY and Special are actually pretty good friends and practice partners. Back before TY's military service. And, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if they were again. But, no, it's it's one of those wannabe Viking builds where you... This is another anti-Roach Island, too. Being able to get the Cyclone early. You can still take out Overlords. You still can technically threaten things like Queens. So who's gonna get that reactor? But yeah, Special always has his own take on the matchup. Dark has a twist. It's different. I feel like a take is like an Instagram filter, whereas a twist is plastic surgery. But you can have both, but like one is a bit more dramatic. But now this analogy has gone off the rails again. But the idea is Dark just makes the same things but different, whereas Special makes different things but ends up kind of similar. That sounded profound enough. All right, we'll leave it there. Unlike Special, who's picked up and carried the Cyclone all the way across the map, is going to try to assassinate the Queen. Oh my god! Oh. I thought everyone thought she was dead. But then, the transfuse at the last second. I think the last Cyclone hit was landing as Dark hits the transfuse. I don't even know if Special realizes he didn't kill the Queen. Not that it's super critical or anything, but either way. What is going on here? Something was canceled. Maybe a barracks? A third command center is done. Factory built like 4 Hellions. Everyone's getting a turn on the reactor there. Starport's up next after the Raven. Actually, no, we'll probably leave the racks. Meanwhile, auto turret arrest. The pressure. Layer on the way. 2 engineering bays. So we are taking this kind of convoluted opener and turning it into a stock stand. We have 3 different flavors of reactors built. Okay, so at first I'm like, there's a crazy method to this madness, but that's like the 2nd or 3rd building I've seen Special cancel. So either he's adjusting in real-time information, or he kind of overblew it. Either way, Hellions in the main. Drone's hot and bothered. 5 kills so far. Loses all 4 Hellions. Almost made it look like the Hellions were unintentional and he wanted to get rid of them. But of course he'd never do that, right, Special? Double evolution chamber is done, but Special has already started his 1-1. And they do take the same amount of time, Terran and Zerg upgrades. So that just means Dark is going to be behind on this one. Raven did survive. What else is back? There's another Raven. He made 2 Ravens. More add-ons. Oh my god. We got add-ons all over the place. Like reinstalling Firefox. Is it Firefox or Chrome that calls them add-ons? Honestly, I don't know. I use Firefox now. I like to pretend I'm slightly superior because of it, but mostly Google knows enough about me and you, so thank you for them recommending this video. Moving on. Double drop. Cleaned up well enough. Infestation. Is he just rushing ultras? I mean, the upgrades are a huge difference. Last game, Dark had the advantage. Now he does not. It's probably the most meaningful interaction. Marines and tanks to an extent against Zergling Baneling is where upgrades and advantage or disadvantage, besides some niche cases like +2 Banelings one-shotting probes, besides those sort of cases, in a straight-up fight, there's just so much potential damage from both sides happening so quickly. And the critical mass. Zerg is all about running you over before you can react. It's called a Zerg rush, okay? And it's about closing the distance and killing enough units to win the rest of the fight, really, before you're able to do anything about it. And that's why upgrades are so important, because extra damage or HP effectively on your Zerglings and Banelings makes a huge difference. Oh, right, the Banelings are rolling in. And Special looking the other way for now. The Siege Tank eats a few Banes on the other side. Is he able to target down those last 2 Banes? Gets 1, gets 2. Dark killed a dozen SCVs, but Special holds the line. 1-1 versus 0-0, and the Marines stand their ground. There's still a Cyclone here. Burrow's about to finish. I don't think that's going to matter much. Targeting down Queens. Baneling's about to complete. 1-1 is already done. He gets several Queens and 4 drones. So even though Dark came in, rolled in, killed a dozen SCVs, he ends up taking a rough fight out on the map. And look at the supply. His army is entirely reliant on overwhelming the Terrans. And right now the Terrans looking whelmed at best. Zergling's just chewing up some chew toy depots. Meanwhile, Special takes out a base on the other side. And that leaves Dark with how many? 1, 2, 4 hatcheries. Usually enough. 5 hatcheries in total. But he's building just his only units are Zerglings, which can eventually become Banelings. And, maybe some Queens. But Special, he found an edge. And he's been cutting through Dark with it. That the Siege Tank eats a whole lot of Baneling hits. The Marines are able to pick up and get out of the rest. And a drop in the middle. Dark is bleeding. And right now, I don't know where a comeback comes from. He's got adrenal glands on the way, but Zergling's attacking a little bit faster. Might not make the damage. Might not make the difference. Special does have a few Marines misrallied out of his barracks, which anything that lessens his momentum could be an issue. Liberators show up. There's only 1 Queen on the map. Royal blood has been spilled. Here, appropriately. That's the last Queen. This game, Dark's anti-air. There are no Widow Mines to drag in. There's nothing to deal with this. This base is gone. The main... Oh my god, he burrowed Banes on the edge of his main! But Special just ran by them unwittingly. Special has a Raven, but the Raven can't be everywhere at once. Dark tried the most cleverest and obvious yet cleverest of strats, which is burrowing Banes in your own base. But it didn't quite work out. 2-2 isn't quite there. Special is about to complete it. Takes out the hatchery in the middle of the map, and it's all but over. As Special just near checkmate here. He's pretty much maxed out. He's got an upgrade advantage. He's got plenty of Marines. All right, Dark, one more fight. But it just didn't work out, and that's the problem with playing this mass Zergling style. One bad fight, and you lose all your momentum. You really need, especially before Hive, you just cannot afford to lose those fights. That's the difference. On Grezman, he, instead of trying to kill SCVs at all, everything was thrown into the army. Over and over, throwing everything at the army, almost to a fault. He tried to go for the counterattack against the economy. His army wasn't big enough. He couldn't handle the cost efficiency and the positioning of Special's Terrans. And now, Dark. Well, both of them on match point. That's kind of how it works. But 1-1, Special with some real strong macro Terran. Well executed, every sense of the word. And I don't know if Dark insists on sticking to the mass Zergling. If he doesn't go back to the spawning pool and, maybe come up with a little bit more variety. It's a little weird to say, but like, it might come down to execution. Yeah, I think some of it was the decision making on trying to do split between a counterattack and defense. But at the end of the day, well, we'll find out. Game 3, the decider. Great series thus far. Hopefully you've enjoyed, Jimmy. 1,076 likes. And we're going for 200,000 subs this year. So be one of the first 200,000 if you haven't yet. If you made it this far, that'd be awesome. Otherwise, like, you know, there's probably going to be a cast most days, so you don't really have to subscribe to know that. It's just, then YouTube will force feed it down your eyeballs a little more often. But I don't even think being subscribed really matters much for that anymore. But, you know, number go up, so thank you for watching. What's today? What? Dark? What? Okay, fine. He's just taking 3 base. Alright. He's just taking 3 base. Because that's what he's decided. He's proxied his own 3rd. And he's taking it on the low ground where you wouldn't usually expect it. So I think the Reaper will check for it, but it'll be too late for Special to adjust his build significantly. As he's already gone for the double gas. He's already got the factory at the front. There's only so much... you got a lot of options with the 1-1-1. The Destiny Cloud Fist build, as I've heard it called. But at the end of the day, it's not like you can just slap down another couple barracks or another factory particularly easily. The Zergling's looking for the wraparound. The Queen. I wonder if Special is suspicious of how late the Queen is, because corners had to be cut in order to run circles around your opponent. But corners had to be cut, and the Queen is late. Special. Like, one part of me is like, that better not be proxy battlecruiser. But the other part of me is like... So... everyone has 2 wolves inside them. One of them likes battlecruisers, and the other one is dumb. Three queens finished. Special still has no indication about the 3rd. He's probably very suspicious, but Dark did a great job of boxing him out with the Zerglings. So Special has to be expecting a Roach Hauling or something, right? He hasn't even looked at the 3rd. He might realize. Yeah, he's gonna mosey on down there. That's the right usage of that, right? Mosey. Factory flips over to the reactor. Special. That explains some things here. He's still going for what is essentially... This is a TVT build, by the way. The double gas into proxy Liberator. Well, usually not proxy with the Liberator, but Hellion Reaper. Maybe the positioning of the buildings is different, but he's repurposing essentially the same opener you'd use in Terran versus Terran for some very early pressure. Roach Warren's on the way. Liberator shows up. Dark, unhappy about it, but finds a positioning maybe. Oh, get your toe out of there! Alright, you gotta be careful. Got a lot of toes. It only takes one for the Liberator to aim. Alright, Special trying to snipe off a queen. Decides not to dive too deeply for it. The toes! If you don't have toes, how are you gonna go on Drone Leaf fans? Shut up, Terran. Nobody wants to see your toe. 2 more barracks on the way. Once again, Special comes out with a flavorful opener. But he's going to buckle down into your standard bow. Another Liberator. The Spore Crow, the fact that the spawning pool kind of walls off, definitely not helpful here. Is Zergling speed even on the way? Some Roaches just started. But here come the Hellions. And the oh my, it's looking toasty in the main base of Dark. He accidentally pulled his drones from the natural as well. Some of them off the line. Roaches are going to pop out. The Queens angrily pin the Terran units at the back of the base. He should be able to deal with the Liberator. Grenades will bounce the Queens away. Gets another one. Gets two. Oh, the Queens are suffering here. But Dark plummets to a 14 drone lead. Dark, that is 3-hatch versus late 2-base Terran. Dark has had 3 hatcheries up and running with Queens for inject on most of them this entire time. Specials killed a lot of the economy, but not enough. He has not hamstrung Dark. He's flicked his ear maybe, but now the roaches are coming across the map. And they're not well, and the reactor's on the outside, unfortunately. Special does have a 3rd command center, but it just finished and it's just now morphing? Building orbital? Why do I not know the terminology? Constructing an orbital. Doesn't feel right. It's kind of like upgrading into an orbital. Anyways, 2 roaches. The reactor's burning. We're watching us like roaches micro against unupgraded Marines, which is kind of a weird. All right. Well, Liberator siege. What a weirdly intense, low-tech fight as the roaches and Marines trade blows. After the drama of the Reapers, the Hellions, the Liberators, and the Queens, Dark has fallen back to the Broaches. And, well, will they be the ticket to the next round, or is Special going to be able to handle him? He's landed his starport and is just building out of a reactor. Not like anything's going to kill the medevacs. Why not, right? He still has a Liberator intact. All right. Siege tanks on the way. That is his only starport, creating a uncomfortable rally. But as long as they get back there, here come the medevacs. How many Marines? 13 Marines, couple siege tanks on the field. Dark has 70 drones, and 1-1 has started, but Special's 1-1 was already at 2/3 of the way done. The medevacs revealed. Roach Rabbit. That's way too many roaches and Ravagers. Special has to. He has to be out here. He has to keep Dark busy without losing any of this. All right, gets a Ravager, gets back into the medevacs. Because you can't have him coming across the map right now. His production is not ready. His upgrades aren't done. He isn't ready to deal with the magnitude, the biomass that Dark is able to field. We've got speed of multiple varieties. Metabolic boost, glial reconstitution, which nobody ever says. Roach speed is the correct term, by the way. A scientific name, otherwise. Probably pronounced it wrong, but there's some science people out there who know how to pronounce it. So I can continue to be wrong, but then know about it. Alright, well here comes the stims. 1-1 is done. Cleaving through those roaches. The extra damage, very noticeable here. But the roaches grew too far in number. And now, Special force back yet again. Dark isn't going to be on the leash for long. 1-1's done in 15 seconds. Speed already complete. Handful of Roach Ravager on the other side. Special reacts, but 3 medevacs and not too many Marines. He doesn't... How many medevacs at home? That leaves 1. That's not enough. Gonna bash his way through the rocks. Why go around when you could go through? It's a very Dark mindset. Dark's maxed. Despite all the early aggression, all the early damage, Dark is easily maxed out at 9 minutes. With 1-1, 74 drones. He doesn't have an infestation pit with Hive on the way. That's the only thing. Ravager's gunned down. Special good micro so far. Able to pull back before the critical mass of Roaches and Ravagers, but here comes Dark. Look at the minimap from every side. At least the ones that you can get to. Roaches coming in, trying to target down the tanks. The boys were pulled. The SCV count plummeting. Roaches and Ravagers still closing in. The medevacs don't know where to go, who to heal. The SCVs are the only thing left. There's just no more units because some of the units are on the other side of the map. He's able to get some counter damage done. But look at the supply. Dark has brought the Roach Hammer down. And Special has cracked under it. It is just not enough. Dark falls back to the Roaches. And they embrace him. It's... Wow, he's still maxed. Superficial damage at best from that early attack and the counter. Special gonna fight it out. But I think he only has 2 more keys left to press. Give or take. Dark has 1. 2 to 1. He'll take this DBZ. Special showing some strong play, but not strong enough to overcome the darkness. As a decisive victory for the final boss. Remaining. The Zerg to beat. Nope, not next. Jimmy, how many times? How many times? We're not streaming. We're casting. It's different. Or commentating, depending on how fancy you want to sound. Well, if you thought this sounded fancy enough, or at least it made your day a little bit better, be awesome. And like, subscribe. 1076 is the number we're looking for. Anything higher is also good, but that one specifically. Thank you for watching. Hope I made your day a little bit better. Dark takes it this time around, but Special, I don't think we've seen the last of them. Thank you for watching. Good luck, have fun. Stay chill.